Welcome to Get After It with Nashy, brought to you by Ace Property Management and Sales.
Look, firstly, thank you very much for inviting me to your home.
Pleasure,
you know,
pleasure.
I'm up north with the kids, the family. We've been round the Strength Centre, and it's a pleasure to have you guys back on the podcast. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thanks for having us on, man. It's awesome.
No problem.
One of the biggest, or the most important question I need to know is, how big was last Saturday night, and how bad was the hangover on Sunday morning?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the after party at Worlds was worse.
Really?
I mean, the heat and stuff, but yeah, I actually slept like a baby. I got home about 2 a.m. Sunday morning, slept till 1 p.m. on Sunday, was fresh as a daisy, went to our local restaurant, had a big brunch, and I was ready to go again, you know.
Yeah.
That's the athlete in me.
That's the athlete.
But yeah, what a night it was, you know, just to kind of get away from the media and, you know, spend time with like the family, you know, all of us together, friends as well, you know, close friends that have actually been there since day one, you know, not kind of just coming now because we're like successful. So it's really nice to, you know, be around with them and the local kind of town putting on, you know, food and drinks for us as well. So it was a really good night, you know. I couldn't have asked for a better one. So.
Yeah. Do you remember much of it, Luke?
Yeah, it wasn't actually too bad. I think, yeah, like Thomas says, I think the after party at Worlds was a little bit more extreme. I think it was more just a celebration with all our friends and family, and we did get a little bit, it got a little bit messy, but it was just fun. It was, again, with the kind of current COVID situation we're in as well, so we were just in a corner to ourselves, so it was nice, just everyone chilled. We were chanting for Tom, you know, making up chants for Tom. Can't really remember much of them, but it was just really nice, just quite kind of, just back to normal, you know. And out in Worlds, the after party there, that was where it got, because everyone was so heightened, you know, our emotions were heightened, and then it was just a big relief after at Worlds, and I think we were still rough from that. I certainly was. It takes me a few days. Bad night. But yeah, it was good. And then Sunday was nice and chilled. Went out for a swim. That kind of cleared some of the cobwebs, which was nice. And just back to the graft on Monday that we're kind of doing. So that's it. Just back to normal kind of training, business, and everything else.
Tom, you mentioned like sort of walking down the high street now. Second in the Worlds last year, first this year, champion of the world. Things changed slightly for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously second place I got a lot of kind of recognition and stuff and the news, but yeah, since I came first, man, wow, you know, it's been really nice, you know. I mean, you know, up here with the local kind of community and stuff, they know what me and Luke have done, but you know, they stop us now, you know, they kind of, everybody's just so kind of buzzed and kind of just, they said it's just put Invergordon on the map and they love it, you know. And it's, yeah, I get stopped all the time, Luke gets stopped all the time now, and it's nice because it's recognised as a sport now. Everybody knows what strongman is. You know, I was down in Aberdeen, everybody down there as well knew. There's just a buzz through the UK, and I mean, it's incredible, you know, because we worked so hard for it, and we want to get this sport, you know, as big as football, as big as rugby, and it's getting that way. There wasn't a British winner since Eddie Hall, and now, you know, I've just won it for Scotland as well, you know, the first Scottish person to ever do it. People are still talking, it's like, it's mind-boggling, and a boy from Invergordon winning a title that's, you know, probably the most prestigious. So yeah, it's great that, you know, we can walk down the street now, we can say hi to people, they take photos, you know, they're all so like happy and smiley. All the old wifeys as well, they love it. The children, everyone, you know, everyone's just got a buzz, and I think there's going to be a buzz for a long, long time. So.
Well, you've just had my three talking to you about the YouTube videos and when you're nipping off the toilet to do a jobby.
They talk about the best parts, the jobbies, the spicy food, you know.
The spicy food on the YouTube page. But what's the strangest thing that's happened? What's the strangest thing that's happened to you both? Has anything sort of weird really happened? Someone's been stopping cars in the middle of the road, or what sort of thing?
Well, I just think I think maybe I just think it's every single person like up here now, you know, like because like I said. I don't actually know.
Well, I think they made a cardboard cutout of Tom.
Yeah, so in Inverness they've made so basically they made a cardboard cutout of myself and put it up a pub in Inverness, and they've been taking it around. And then also on the way up from the A9, there's been flags saying World's Strongest Man Tom. Right, you get that when there's football games on and big things like that. But to see that, you know, Scotland flags with World's Strongest Man 2020 Tom on it, you know, even like landing in Heathrow, Glasgow as well, the security and stuff were like gobsmacked that I was there. I was like, this is a normal guy, you know, they nearly dropped the passport. I was like, geez, they're giving us champagne on the plane. So that kind of stuff, you're like, geez, this is special, it's a special feeling. And you know, yeah, but that's mind-boggling having flags coming up here and a cardboard cutout of myself.
It must be like surreal to be in that, to be so well regarded, but it's not a sort of flash in the pan thing. Talk about the years of dedication it's taken you both to get, because obviously, look, it's so frustrating that we've not seen the show yet, we've not seen the event, it comes out at Christmas, but everything we can read is that from Tom winning, but you were so close to achieving the great sort of result as well.
Yeah.
The 10 years or beyond that you guys have gone through to get to where you are today is what maybe some people forget.
Yeah.
I mean, people only see the fun side, you know, that's the YouTube, the social media stuff, but you know, we've been sacrificed so much in our lives, you know. Obviously, me with autism as well, you know, I started Strongman to get myself more confident. I didn't ever expect to kind of be sitting here as, you know, the best strongman in the world and to be following kind of in Luke's footsteps as well. So, yeah, it's been graft. You know, I've had really bad times in strongman where I've wanted to kind of hang my boots up and be like, I'm never coming back here. And I've had really good times, you know. Same with the wife and stuff as well, you know, I've fallen out with her family, you know, I've had to put my family second, put my wife second, put my mate second. You know, for someone that's like so young in the sport as well, when I started and to do that, it's quite hard, you know, because you want to have the support of your friends, you want to have the support of your family and stuff. They gave me the support, but I was being selfish, and you know, I had to be selfish, and I was selfish for like 7-8 years, same with Luke, you know, but it's worth it with the results you get. And I mean, yeah, it's been, like, especially the last 3 years, when I said that plan in 2018 when I wanted to win World Strongest Man in 2021, I was obsessed with winning World Strongest Man, you know. I mean, no other comp to me really mattered. I know I did Woos at the start of the year, didn't do very well in that, but my goal was to win World Strongest Man and to kind of prove to people that I can do it and, you know, be the best. And, you know, a lot of people didn't believe in me because of my mental kind of, you know, side of the strongman game. Physically I was there, but, you know, having the support of Luke, family and stuff. Luke is gonna, I'm not anyone without Luke, and Luke's not anyone without me, and, you know, that's kind of the truth as well. We push each other to kind of limits that nobody else can do, goes through, you know. And even though we saw a lot of training, there's a lot of bits that we've not shown that, you know, we just want to get the cameras away, focus on ourselves. And yeah, it's been an absolute brutal prep, but this prep's been, for World Strongest Man, was the hardest I've ever done in my life. Like, I wanted to kind of, I was saying to myself in my head, if I don't win this, then I had to quit, you know, because we got a warehouse, we got all the new kit we could think of, we got everything we could do, we did everything we could do as well to prep for this, you know. And it's been a hard graft, but in the end it's kind of worth it. So
you got the results, and look, your journey through it as well, like having Tom by your side pushing you on every day.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back when I first started, I used to talk about the inner circle, you know, of strongmen. So, you know, back then it was like Terry Hollins, Eddie Hall, Mark Felix, Lawrence Ciali, you know, Graham Hicks. They were all the kind of the main boys in strongman. So for years, you know, I couldn't get into that circle. It was like, right, I need to get in, and they were always getting to Worlds, and I was just missing out. And it was almost like I needed Tom to come along with me to really push me on to get into that circle. Did that, and then Tom came and joined that circle, and now we're probably Tom's the best in the world. That's a fact, you know. It's and we're the strongest brothers that's ever lived. That's a fact. So these facts, they are what they are. You know, we are the creme de la creme of British strongman at the moment. So which is amazing. But it doesn't just happen. Tom says, you know, the work, the sacrifices that we have to do. I remember sitting down with my mum and dad saying, I'm wanting to do this strongman thing, you know, full time. And they're like looking at me like, what do you mean? Like, how can you do it full time? And that's what people, I think, maybe 10 years ago thought, you know, it wasn't necessarily a full-time job. And it wasn't for me until like last year when I went full-time. But having that self-belief, you know, that we have to make that sacrifices. It might not happen straight away. You just have to have that self-belief and that consistency and that kind of determination, you know. Tom talked about some of his bad times, you know, wanting to kind of give up and what's the point and all the rest of it. But for me, I enjoy the process. You know, that's for me, that's something that I love seeing. So progression for me is massive. So as long as I'm progressing, I feel the best I've ever felt now. I feel that I'm going to destroy next year. Every competition now, I've got this different mindset about me, and I'm so confident in my own abilities, and that's, you know, dedication to Tom as well, because he's pushed me on to feeling like that. I get to train with the world's strongest man every day, which is amazing. You know, it's amazing. Years ago, you'll be the strongest brothers that's ever lived, and you'll be able to train with the world's strongest man. I'd be like, geez, that's pretty special, and here we are. So again, just that self-belief and kind of really living up to your potential that we both have. I don't think we haven't scratched the surface yet in our potential, so it's pretty exciting.
Having recently spoke to both Amy, clinical psychologist, and Dan, your strength coach, I think your whole inner circle are quite excited by the fact that you haven't really scratched the surface yet of what might still be to come from both of you. But Tommy, yourself, and it's something I spoke to Amy about on the podcast, is last year number 2, and you're chasing number 1. You had something to chase. You had that goal. You got to get one better, and you knew what you had to do to get there. Now you've got to keep everyone off you. Now they're all chasing you. What's that mentality? How are you going to switch things for the next year to say, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere? And right next to you, you've got the man that's coming after you hardest.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like last year, obviously, coming second place, I was making mistakes. I was still not kind of mentally up there, you know, and with kind of stuff. But then, you know, like I said, taking Amy on was the best thing I could possibly ever do. You know, I could talk to her about stuff. You know, I was able to go past failure in events now. I was able to know when not to quit. You know, and like all that kind of stuff in my head. I knew exactly what to do this year. But yeah, progress. You know, you want to be the best in the sport, and I'm the best in the sport now. And you know, I'm hungry. As soon as I kind of seen that gold trophy, I don't want to let it go. You know, I want to keep that for a long, long time. The silver one, as soon as I got that, I put it to my dad, and I said to my dad, I don't want to see that until I win. And that was my motivation there, was, you know, second place is like first loser. I don't want to be second place. I want to be the best. And now I've got the trophy. Yeah, I'm dedicated just to win it. You know, I know I can be the greatest of all time. That's in my head now. I've done it once. For me, the first one's the hardest one, and then you can go on and keep going. And you know, like I said, I proved out a world's strongest man. And I didn't do anything silly, didn't do any mistakes, and I know that if I can just keep adding to this package, that I'm going to be a very hard man to beat. I need to keep this guy off me as well. But again, Luke was so consistent as well. You know, people don't give him credit. 7th place doesn't sum up his kind of performance. He was unbelievable. If there was no stones, he could have been, you know, top 3. But yeah, I'm going to work hard. You know, I worked hard for World's Strongest Man this year. I'm going to work extremely hard next year as well, and because there's going to be a lot of guys biting at my bum trying to get that trophy. You know, and I know I'm not stupid. I know when to kind of work hard. You know, I know kind of when to chill out, and I'm the champion for a reason now as well. And like I said, I'm dedicated to kind of keep going, and I want to win it back to back. You know, I want to be one of the first to win it back to back, and then I want to go on and kind of take over the legends of the sport as well. So I'm very hungry for it. The trophy's in my house downstairs, you know, so when I'm eating I can see it and talk to it and stuff.
You've kept this one. You've kept this one.
Just now, my dad's going to get it soon, but I'm going to keep it till it's drilled into my head that I'm the best, and I can have a drawing of it in my head, and then I'll give it away.
Yeah, I mean, just having the pair of you train with each other, it must be exciting going to see what each other do in training, because obviously if you're at log press and you're at stones, and you can work off each other to improve at things that maybe the other one's got the lead on. You know, is that sort of when you go into certain events, you know that you might not be the best in the world at that event, but you've trained so hard with someone that is. It must be a huge advantage to you both when you turn up at the big events.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've got an advantage because we're brothers, we train together and that, but, you know, for us, we train hard, you know, that's the thing, you know. Luke's the best in the world at log, I'm the best in the world at stones, but the other events were maybe mixed bag for, you know, and but we just train hard, you know. Like when we saw the events for World's Strongest Man this year, we just said we need to train every event, you know, as we are the best in the world at it, and that's what we've done. We put 100% into every single training session, 100% into every recovery session. We were there, you know, when Luke had his bad days, we didn't want to train, I'd lift him up, he'd do the same for me. When I wanted to give up after 2 reps, you know, he'd push and shout, and that's that's what you need, you know, you need someone there to kind of go past that failure point, and that's what we did. And like I said, we busted our bums every day in the gym, you know, and people don't see all that kind of stuff on the camera. That was the days we put the cameras off and like, this is us, this is our time, we need to kind of focus, no distractions, and just go all out. And by the end of the sessions, you know, we were broken men, we couldn't move or nothing. But yeah, you know, the training, it was kind of brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the best prep I think that we've ever done, you know, and that's credit to our team we talked about a second ago. You know, we've got such a great team and a great supportive network that enabled us to do that. So without those guys, we wouldn't be where we are now. And the training, you know, is believing in that process again that I talked about a while ago. If you don't believe in that process, then you're failing at the first hurdle. You've got to have complete trust in your team, complete trust in Tom, myself. You know, we've got to have that kind of trust, that bond, which we do. We're so fortunate, you know, that we have that. So when we're going in, when Tom says, right, we've got to push, when I say we've got to push, I trust Tom and Tom trusts me. So I can see how difficult something looks for Tom and vice versa. So if something looks extremely hard for Tom and say, right, that's enough, you know, we're good with that. And then just like Tom says for me, so that's where we've got the advantage on anyone else in the world, that we know when we're at failure. So to go past that failure point sometimes is a bit detrimental to your training. So if we're going to failure every time, that's detrimental to our training, and that's something that we've learned, I think, the hard way, because we were kind of guilty of maybe going for those kind of 100% lifts too many times, and that's where our coaches come in and nutritionists and everything else, and it's just been the most brutal camp I think we've had, but the most, you know, the one that we tick off every box. Every week, you know, we've got to tick off our boxes, and every week we were ticking these boxes off all the time. And it's, yeah, when you do that, you go into a competition oozing confidence. You know, we're here, we know we're the best in the world, and Tom proved that 100%.
An event like World's Strongest Man, what's it like when it starts? Because you've obviously got each other's backs, and you're each other's biggest fans, but you're both going for that number 1 spot. And I'm sure you get asked that a lot, but mentally, when you're competing and you're cheering them on, you're trying to get one more than them next time, or push it further, or go faster. How does that balance work for you both? Because you both want to win, but you both want each other to do so well. What's that like?
Yeah, well, we're all just, I mean, it's good at the start because we're in different groups, you know, so, you know, obviously I'm out to support Luke's out to support me in the final, so it's a buzz, you know. I'll still cheer for Luke, he'll still cheer for me. I mean, the first event of the final, it was me versus Luke, and I think that got us both psyched up, you know, like, I don't think it could have happened any better. I mean, when I seen that, I was so pumped. Luke was pumped, the fans got behind us, and yeah, what a start to the final that was, because, you know, it is sometimes hard to get, you know, pumped up when you've had 2 or 3 days of training, qualifiers, and you're a bit drained, but, you know, yeah, that's kind of the moment I got pumped up, when as soon as I seen Luke was, you know, up against me, I was up against him, we just thrive off each other, you know, and even throughout the whole final, you know, we were helping each other with events. He did log press. I told him, you know, you're best in the world at log. Stones, he ran in after he'd done his stones. I went absolute mental at me, you know, just saying you're the best in the world and stuff, you know. So those kind of wee words you use, you can really kind of get, you know, that sticks into your head, and you can, like, you know, use that aggression and stuff. But yeah, having Luke, but it doesn't matter if we're up against each other. It doesn't matter if we're fighting for the title. We're always going to support each other. It's a friendly kind of rivalry, and it's like whoever takes this title home at the Stoltmans, it's, you know, that's who we want. As long as it's me beating Luke,
Oh, there it is.
and Luke beating me, it's fine. If anybody else comes in that, like, takes the title home out of the Stoltman name, it's not a good sign. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a really kind of great rivalry. You know, you can see it on the TV when you watch it. You know how much fun we have, how much we thrive off the crowd, thrive off each other. You know, everyone says it, everyone sees it. So, you know, it's just a great visual to kind of see how we do it.
Do you listen out for each other? You know, when you're competing, or you must be sometimes so focused and in the zone that you don't hear much else going on around, but you must be able to hear him, because we can hear him on every
Yeah,
event.
I mean, yeah. Luke's a louder shouter than me. I can hear him, you know. But it's again, you have to kind of focus on what you're doing. You know, if that voice, if you can hear that one voice and it distracts you, I'm so used to it that I don't get distracted by it. But you know, Luke's is a powerful voice, and a lot. I mean, it might distract the person I'm against, so you never know.
Perfect.
But I don't ever let it get distracted. It's just me versus that object that I've got in front of me, and you know, the shouting I can hear a wee bit, but I block it out as much as I can. So
it's very similar to training as well, isn't it? You know, I'm shouting for Tom in training. It's like we've learned with Tom that if you shout aggression to him, then that's when Tom gets that aggression. So usually I'm shouting aggression, Tom, aggression, and that really gets him going. And
all
then
the key words, you know, you don't want sentences or things that buffalo in my head. You know, the easy words like aggression, pull, push. You know, those when someone says that to me, I can do anything. And that's what Amy taught me as well, is just to block out the other words you don't want to hear, and that's the words. And you know, Luke sees me every day, so he shouts them. It's boom, it's game over.
We talked before we came on about Andy Murray and his aggression on court, and so is athletes and players like that are aggressive. They sort of you go towards them, you'll support them. Is that what you like to see? Aggression.
Yeah, and you know, tennis isn't an aggressive game, but Andy's kind of changing the sport. It's nice to see him getting pumped up. You know, he's only the second round of Wimbledon, but he's still, you know, he knows how much it takes to be there, and you know, he's using the crowd to his advantage, and that's good to see. You know, that if you don't use the crowd to your advantage, if you don't get a buzz off the crowd, then there's something wrong with you. Because you could see that at Andy Murray. He was loving it, loving every minute of that. You know, he was never kind of doubting himself that he was going to lose that match. I don't think so. It was cool to see.
What was it like having Jordan Mulligan with you at the Worlds? Because he's a guy that obviously he's been on the show. The content that the brothers put out on YouTube is incredible, and you're building this legacy movie, this sort of epic feature film that's going to be about you guys. What was it like having Jordan there and being in?
It was. I find Jordan very inspiring as a person, as a human being. So, maybe a year and a half ago when we met him, we knew the Mulligan brothers. We watched their motivational stuff, and they came up. We did this interview, had breakfast in Morrison's, I think it was, and then Tom and I had been talking about doing a documentary for a while about us, because we saw there was whatever. Jordan hit us up with that. Like, yeah, 100%, let's do it. We vibed with him straight away. And since that day, he's inspired us all the time. You know, this inspire change, his motto. 100%. They've inspired us to no end to, you know, inspire change. You know, they've inspired change in us. We employed Simon full time. We're getting new offices because of them. You know, we're looking for another editor, all these different things. So to have him out in World's Strongest Man, he's got this aura about him. That's what I like to say, you know. So when I see him and he's like cheering and he's getting emotional, and it was amazing. But then for him to put in that much effort to get there, you know, to do his quarantine in Cancun, then having to turn around saying you can't get into America, you have to come back tomorrow, then flying to New York, then New York to LA, you know, all this stuff just to get out and see us. And he was willing to do that. That speaks volumes for me of the type of person that he is. It's not just an act, you know. He's there to really back up what he's kind of preaching, and I really respect him. And yeah, having him there was so cool. And we got to have a wee drink with him in the after party as well, which was I think he actually put us to bed, didn't he?
I can't remember a thing. So. Yeah, the thing with Jordan, you know, he's not like a lot of other people. Other people make excuses, and you know, Jordan's got a family. You know, he could have easily stayed at home, not want to come, but with him, the thing I kind of learnt from him as well is that he never makes excuses. You know, when he says something, he'll do it. And you know, I thought the Cancun thing was a step too far, but he did it. You know, and he kind of proved me wrong as well. He got out there, quarantined, and came to Worlds, and it's, you know, it's so motivating to see someone like that. You know, he's a cameraman, but he's more than just a videographer to us. He's like friends. You know, he helped keep our head out there as well. You know, he didn't hardly have a camera in his hand, so he changed his role. But yeah, he's a guy that, you know, that's kind of the inspire change thing there, is, you know, backing up what you're saying. And Jordan's the guy that's doing that. You know, he said he was going to make a documentary for us. He's doing it. He said he was going to come to Worlds. He done it. You know, he says he's going to do a lot of things, and he's, you know, ticking the boxes in every thing he's doing. So yeah, he's a kind of guy that you want to have, you know, around you and a positive guy in your life. So 100%.
It's your inner circle again. It's having the right guys that can push you forward.
It's not just Jordan, it's William. We haven't met the other kind of Mulligans with the other team, but Jordan and William. William's such a great guy. He's kind of, what I love about them is they're very unassuming. You know, they come in, they love wearing the Stoltmans socks and spicy t-shirts.
Just chill back guys, you know, and they don't ever force you to do something, which is nice as well. You know, they just let you get on with your life, chill back, and just do what you want. You know, and they're there with a camera in the background. You know, and that's the good thing. They don't like being forced to do something. Is something that I don't like, or you know, we don't like. They're just so cool. Yeah, they come out, make themselves at home, and that's it. You know, they're such great boys. You know.
Very lucky, or I guess not lucky, but it's just very fortunate our paths have crossed, and I think we've got a lifelong friends with, you know, Jordan, William, and you know, we're going to go down to Nottingham, and we're going to go down to soon and see their studio, and you know, again be inspired by what they're doing. The rest
of the team as well, because they've not seen any of the other ones. So.
Yeah, they're class, man. It's such, talk about inspiration and that family. You know, their story, what they've done, so cool, man. So yeah, we're just trying to learn some stuff from them in the business side of things, and yeah, it's I can't wait for the documentary to come out.
Was there any footage at the after party from the World's Strongest Man, or was it no cameras allowed?
Well, I think they got a bit, but I don't want to see it. So,
well, what's that like? Was it a bar shut off? Was it a hotel lobby? Because you guys, the size of you all, and the amount of alcohol that was probably consumed, it would be quite an epic party.
It was a trifecta event. So Brian Shaw's Food Company, I think it was them that kind of hosted it, you know, and so it's kind of like a private event for them guys plus the strongmen. So, but yeah, it was no food, hot weather, and drink do not go together. So do not try that, please.
It was classed as a pool party, but you weren't allowed to go in the pool. So when we turned up, so you can imagine it, you got the pool in the middle, the strongmen are on one side, and then the executives, the TV executives, all the kind of important people on the other side. And I was chilling with Adam Bishop. We were drinking away. I'm like, Bish, mate, come on, let's go over and mix it with the high flyers. So we went over.
It's the worst thing we could have done. Jeez.
I think it was like the owner of Trifecta, and we were shotting whiskey with them, and everyone just let their hair down then, and it was just, I think it was spraying Tom with champagne, and it was good. But everyone was so happy. That was the thing, because we've been part of World's Strongest Man for a number of years now, and I'm very vocal on how amazing Tom is, and you know what a great athlete Tom is, obviously myself included. But I think everyone was just so happy, genuinely happy for Tom to do it this year, and everyone was crying, and you know it was all emotions. But the thing I got from it was everyone was just so buzzing that Tom won, which was really nice, you know. So that says a lot, you know, when these guys, you know, chief lead producers, chief executives, owners of these companies are so happy that some guy from Invergordon in Scotland won. I think that says a lot about us as people, which was really nice. But yeah, and then we all got pretty messy after, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, I think I woke up in a pile of sick in the morning, which was nice.
I'm surprised I even got up.
I know, look, you can be quite emotional.
Yeah.
When those doors opened at the airport and your family and Cushy and Sinead were in front of you, what was that moment like? When you got
I was on the phone about this phone, Sinead saying I'm here, and she came through the bit you're not allowed to come through. It's like, security, please leave this area. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Yeah, it was really nice, you know. I mean, they didn't share the moment with us out there, so you know, me and Luke shared that moment, and we got to share a moment when we landed in Glasgow. Dad, you know, everyone was there, so it was a really nice feeling just to have them there, and the support they've kind of given us throughout this whole prep has been, you know, amazing. So yeah, it was emotional. We were happy. It was just mixed emotions, weren't we? You know, it's unbelievable to have them, you know, coming down and doing that for us. So. Yeah,
it was lovely. Such a nice touch. You know, I was in bits, man. I kind of held back because I was a bit emotional, and Chris came and gave me a cuddle. And it's strange not working offshore anymore. You know how much you value being at home every night. You know, like that was the longest I've been away from Kush for a while, so it was pretty tough. Normally, you know, before I was away for 3 weeks and it'd be fine, but having them come down, make the effort. Our sisters, our nieces were there as well, all in spicy Stoltman t-shirts. It was so nice. very touching from the family, you know, and that, again, that's credit to our family. You know, we're very close, very tight. There's a reason, you know, why Tom and I are so strong, and that's because of our family. We've got that strong bonds, and yeah, it was just nice to have that kind of first moment back in Scotland to share it with them. It was so cool. Yeah, it was good.
The strength of your family shown through your, I'm going to call it your awesome YouTube page. The content you put out, and you're laughing as my kids are running around your garden going, oh, there's the barbecue, oh, there's Dad's house. And,
Yeah.
But one video that we loved was the pickup truck you got for your dad.
Yeah.
What was that like, getting to a stage in your careers where you can give back to your dad something that he would really appreciate? We saw him on video, he sort of broke down at Christmas time. What's that like, sort of the work you've put in to say to your family, Dad, this is something we can do for you now?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been good, especially for me, because like, you know, the autism growing up, you know, I you know, it's harder for my dad. He was away a lot when I was at home myself with my mum and stuff. He was, you know, always working so hard to give us a life, and just, you know, he just when I was younger, he did so much for myself, so much for Luke, so much for everyone. You know, paid for me at the start of my strongman journey to do all the comps, to make sure I was, you know, fed, just everything. So yeah, to kind of give him back something like that, and to, you know, how generous he was for it, was a great feeling. You know, we want to try and do as much as we can for our dad, and you know, you could see his face in the YouTube video. It was
brilliant.
That face is just, you know, that's what you want. His reaction was unbelievable, you know, and yeah, we want to do so much more with him, but you know, that was a nice wee present just to give back for all the years he's kind of put up with us, you know. Made him cry. We made him cry loads. Made him stress, shout, angry. You know, it's funny. So yeah, we made him drunk loads as well. So you know, that's the least we can do is give him all pickups. So
yeah, it was nice just to kind of. We never, you know, you never start this kind of journey, the strongman stuff, thinking that that's going to happen, you know. But then as time goes by, you're thinking, oh, it'd be nice. I remember saying to Jordan Mulligan last year when we met, I just want to be able to buy Dad a pickup. Like it was something like, I just thought if I had a son that could buy me a brand new pickup, I'd be so proud, you know. And I just envisioned or just saw Dad's face when I thought, oh, that'd be a cool idea. So we chatted about it, and we thought, well, Dad's got this older pickup that's not getting any younger and stuff, and it's getting more money spent on it to get it through its MOT. And then we thought, well, stuff it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You know, we'll be able to afford it. If we can't, then it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, doing that for Dad, it was funny because he thought it was a holiday to Crete initially.
He said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said that in the video. He thought it was a holiday.
Right, oh, sorry, Dad. You know, we'll buy you one in the summer or something once COVID stops. But yeah, it was nice. It was just, it was nice for Dad because, you know, he was buzzing around in it, seeing his friends, and
he didn't expect it at all. You know, which is nice. You know, usually he gets a bit of an idea, but he didn't expect that at all. So it was a really nice surprise.
It was good. You know. But we went up, didn't we? We went up to test drive it initially. Yeah. So I was saying I was going to change my pickup for the Hilux, and then Dad said, "Oh, this is nice. This is nice. I like this." And he didn't have any idea, you know, that it was for him. And then getting that, and then he's got the Stolt number plate as well. So yeah, it's just nice being able to do that, and I think that's for us what we're doing. It's like financially whatever, but it's so much nicer being able to be financially secure and being able to give back to like the family and stuff, because we could buy Dad 100 pickups and it still wouldn't be enough what he's done for us, you know. So that's, again, he's the reason why we're here speaking to you guys, you know. That's the reason why Dad is our dad, you know. Mum and Dad, they've provided for us. They were such a great influence in our upbringing, you know, and having that that support from them. I mean, Dad's just the proudest guy in the world at the moment, you know, so it's really cool. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty more pickups for Dad along the way. He'll probably crash out soon because he's, I don't know.
It's maybe private to you guys, but have you talked about a family? What did you say to Tom when you hit the floor after winning it and knowing that the last stone was up? You were the champion, and you run in and grabbed him. Have you spoken about it, or can you remember?
I can't remember. I think it was more just cuddling and kiss or sitting, and I don't know.
I think I said, you fucking did it. You're the best in the world. I fucking love you.
It was just something like that. it's a weird moment because, you know, I turned around, just was like, went to my feet. I was like, geez, I've done it. You know, I was thinking to myself, I've done it. Luke came in. Yeah, I think it was like that, starting like you said, and then, yeah, it still bamboozled me, you know. I still look back at that and like, geez, I actually done it. It's weird. It's just a weird.
It's mad. Because I don't think I cried for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then there was a producer, Becca. So Becca's been on the show since I started, and we've had, you know, really good times. She's such a great person. And then she looked at me and she was in tears. And then because she was there from day one from me, I was like,
it just didn't sink in, you know. Even like 15, 20 minutes after, it's like, have I actually done this? You know, is this real? And I was messaged the phone Sinead, I was like, is this real? You know, like it just didn't feel real at all. And then it started kind of sinking in. I was like, yeah, I've done it. You know, so yeah, it was that was a great moment to share that with Luke. You know, that's straight after winning the title. You know, you want to share it together, and that was such a cool moment. You know,
and beating Brian Shaw in the last event, I mean, that's pretty epic. That's a man of his stature.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, like I've always said this, I respect Brian Shaw. You know, I watched him growing up. Brian's like the blueprint of strongman. You know, if you want to be a family man, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be a perfect human, Brian Shaw's the man. And I respect him. And what a battle it was. You know, I said before World's Strongest Man when I was getting interviewed that if it was me versus Brian on the Atlas Stones, that would be nail biting. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm the king of the stones. You know, I put all that aside. That's what, you know, the kind of public and everyone else gives me. And at the end of the day, you've got a job to do still. And I was standing there, crapping myself a wee bit because I'm a young guy. Brian's been in this situation hundreds and hundreds of times. I just kept overthinking, you know, if this drops, I'm second again, you know. But fortunately, you know, I had a stone run like I usually do. Brian slipped up a wee bit, and you know, he couldn't catch me in the end, and it was good. But yeah, like I said, I can't say enough good things about Brian. Brian was unbelievable at that competition. You know, a lot of people wrote him off last year. To push kind of me to the end, you know, he's 40, I think he is, or something like that, and to come back like he did from 2020 to then come second place, you know, and so close to winning, it was unbelievable. Yeah, but what a battle, and I can't wait to watch that at Christmas time, because that was cool. That was really, really cool, you know. That's what I wanted to do when I was younger, is that I want to be him. I want to be against him in the Atlas Stones, and the dream comes true. So yeah, it was a cool moment. That was probably that was just as special as winning the title, you know, going against one of the greatest of all time. It was weird, man. It just doesn't feel real either.
You're getting a buzz talking about it just now. It's
I
awesome.
want to do it all over again, to be honest with you. So.
Take us to your relationship with Dan Hipka, your strength coach, because again, recently I had him on the show, and he wasn't what I expected. You know, he wasn't. I don't know what I went in thinking your strength coach would be like, but and he talks so openly about his background, his own journey, what he's been through. But tell us about that journey to where he came into your inner circle, and look, he's now got you guys to where you are today.
Yeah, well, I've been with Dan since kind of a junior level. You know, I've been around Dan a lot. He was used to be Paul Smith's coach as a junior, so you know, I knew him. I've been around him, and even with Paul Smith, he was unbelievable. You know, he didn't look like he was today. He was bigger. You know, he was just a crazy guy with the stretchers in his ears. I was like, who is this guy? You know, like,
well, that's why I didn't see coming the lifestyle that he lived.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously he lived a not as good lifestyle back then as well, you know. And Dan's got autism as well, you know. So it's and then he contacted me. I think it was after One Giants Live about saying, I think his messages were like, I can sort your deadlift and make you the best in the world if you come with me. So I jumped on that. You know, I was still kind of young in the sport. And I wanted to go with someone different. You know, there's a lot of well-known coaches out there, and nobody except for me at the top level was if Dan Hipkiss, you know. And in my head, I was like, right, he's going to put 100% effort into me, and you know, that's what Dan did. You know, we got our friendship grew even more. I knew he shared a lot of things that nobody knew about him. I shared a lot of things with him as well. He was like a family to me, and then every year we grew and grew and grew, and it's weird because it's just he doesn't, like you say, he doesn't look like a strength coach. He just looks like a hippie that, you know, that likes to chill out, and that's how I like it. You know, he's so chilled out. But yeah, when it comes to coaching, he's a serious guy. You know, he knows his stuff. And a lot of people questioned him. I said, you know, why are you with Dan Hipka? Why are you doing these exercises? But, you know, you ignore them. You follow what's written on that piece of paper for you. You trust what he does. And, I mean, you know, he's the strongest strength coach in the world now, which is a fact as well. And it's just credit to his hard work, you know, throughout the years. You know, me believing in him as well, you know, because I could have... There's been a few times where I've been like, Dan, what the hell is this? You know, you've got me jumping like a pansy around the place. You know, other people are pulling deadlifts where I'm jumping around. I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, but when you go into depth with it, it makes sense. But yeah, Dan's an unbelievable kind of human. He's helped me through kind of a lot of kind of hard times out of strongman as well as in strongman. Like I said, I've opened up to him. He's like a friend to me as well. I've known him, yeah, about 10 years, 11 years as well. So yeah, Dan's an unbelievable person. I'm going to obviously continue having him as a coach, and like we said, it's just kind of starting for us now. You know, Dan knows, I know that the sky's the limit for myself now, and this is going to push him as a coach as well as a person, and this is going to help him kind of get a lot more opportunities, and hopefully he won't get too many of the world's strongest men athletes on his team, and hopefully he can keep me and Luke the top guys. But yeah, Dan's an unbelievable. You know, there's so much words and could go on and on and on about him. But yeah, he's just an unbelievable
even
guy.
Just talking to him on the show, he apologised. He's like, this is one of the first time I've done this, and it was so new to him. In the journey that you guys have been on together to get to the top of the world, it is incredible, and I think we're going to see him going on to bigger and better things. Yeah,
so happy for him. I mean, for me, when I got back from Bahrain, world's ultimate strongman there, whenever it was, 3.5 months ago, it was kind of following Tom's training. I quite enjoyed it. It was quite a lot of kind of variations and stuff. I thought it was quite nice. I was like, I'm going to have to give Dan a message. So I was thinking that I was speaking to Cushy about it. So I'm thinking I'm going to give Dan a message, see if he wants to come on board. That night, Dan messaged me saying, what you up to? Do you want to come on board with me? So I didn't even, like, it was just that you put it out to the universe, and, you know, the universe kind of gives back. So I was like, 100% Dan, I love what you're doing with Tom. Let's get it going. And since then, I never knew Dan like Tom did. I was maybe a bit guilty of judging a book by its cover, thinking, well, Dan doesn't look like a strength coach. And I've said that to Dan, you know. It's but now, knowing him and being more open to, I'm a lot more open to different things now, so holistic stuff, spiritual stuff, looking in depth to how I can improve my mental health, my mental state, as well as my physical. So Dan came up, he spent a few nights with us up here, and we just clicked straight away. It was like, we're two peas in a pod. He was talking about all this weird stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, that's awesome, I love that shit. Like, tell me to rub my ears and do this, and do like the breathing, and if you can control your breathing, you can control anything. And so for me, I had 10 weeks maybe with him, 10 weeks before Worlds, and I completely transformed myself as an athlete. I went into World's Strongest Man with the utmost confidence in my own abilities, and I'm thinking, well, I've only had 10 to 12 weeks with you. Imagine what I can do in a year. So that's,
Dan, don't let him have over a year, jeez.
So that's we talk about inner circle. You know, we don't let many people into an inner circle, only if you're going to add something positive. And Dan, as I messaged him a couple of days ago, just saying, look, I haven't got a chance to thank you, but I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've reignited the fire in me to be the best in the world. You know, that's through your self-belief in me and Tom, and giving us these, his uniqueness makes him so special. And I think that's what we're trying to kind of show the world. You know, people are unique, people are different, and it's that makes you a special person. You know, like with Tom's autism, that's what makes Tom so unique, so beautiful, so perfect, is his, what people would say, his differences, or his not normal stuff makes him that complete person. And I think that's what we don't really understand. You know, people are trying to fit in, people trying to be normal. You look at social media, it's like, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. But then you get people like Dan, they're like, fuck that, I'm not being this. This is me, like me or don't like me. You know, and that's what I respect so much about Dan. He sticks to his way of thinking, and it really works. You know, Tom's the proof that
He doesn't filter anything. He says it as it is, you know, whether you like it or not. He said things to me that I could have travelled down and, you know, put a gun to his head, you know, but that's just the truth at the end of the day. But that's what you want. You don't want any of that kind of feeling sorry for yourself stuff, you know. If I've ever said to him, like, I've messaged him saying, look, I can't do this, I'm not the best, he just, you know, he just sends like a mental message back saying, you know, all this stuff, and then, you know, it just changes your head. But yeah, he's the perfect kind of blueprint as a coach in my eyes, you know what I mean? People can say what they want about him, but he can sit back and say, I'm the best coach in the world, you know. It doesn't matter what social media says anymore. So yeah, Dan's a great guy, and a great coach. So.
It's interesting. He obviously loves his rock climbing, and he's obviously there's been drink and there's been alcohol, alcohol and drugs in his past, and that was to slow him down. That was to get him sort of onto the pace the world goes when he's constantly going at a faster pace, and he couldn't sort of. He talked about on the show that he couldn't operate in normal surroundings if something went slightly off, or he was in a supermarket and he knew the route he was going and someone went in front of him, things like that. And I said to him, well, the strongman, the intensity that you guys have to be at to lift what you lift, to pull what you pull, he's now in that world, and he can cope in that world, pushing you guys. And with you, he must be able to relate to on the autism side of things that maybe struggles that you might have or had. He's been there, and you can, as you say, talk to him about those things. You can see how the partnership or the teamwork works.
Yeah, Dan knows. Well, obviously he knows autism. He has autism. He, you know, when people, like I said, cat in front of you, the shops, your routine changes. You know, that gets to me. That still gets to me to this day. But you know, he kind of knows how to handle it. He knows that Luke trains differently, and you know, you have to word it different for me than you do for Luke. You have to kind of slow down stuff when you're with me and stuff. So you know, he understands all that, and he's not patient. There'll be a lot of guys that get frustrated, you know, with what I do, or you know. But Dan's just, right, Tom, let's take it down to your level. Let's start from the scratch, and you know, this is what we're doing, you know. He writes everything down. I visualise things better when I write things down. Like when I was in the house, I had World's Strongest Man 2021 written on a whiteboard about 20 times. I had everything I was doing every day. And I never really done that before, and I'd done that and visualised it every single day. And people with autism, when they visualise stuff, it is more real than just saying, oh, you're going to be World's Strongest Man, Tom. That goes in at one ear and out the other. So yeah, I've written everything down. Dan told me to write stuff down. Amy told me to write stuff down. And, you know, it sounds stupid, but you don't think it, but it works, you know. And, yeah, like I said, Dan just knows, he knows me now, you know. He could be the Tom Stoltman. I could just sit there and he could talk for me.
But you guys are living proof of you don't have to conform, or you don't have to do what schools tell you. And there'll be a lot of people that disagree with this, that you should go to school, get the degree, go to uni, and then, I don't know, you might end up working in Starbucks because that job you thought you'd get, there isn't a space or there isn't an opportunity in that world. You guys, and Luke, you got yourself off the rigs. Yeah. You focused, and you've got to where you are today. It's something that maybe isn't talked about enough to kids. Definitely. And as a father of 3, you see them running about. I don't necessarily worry if they're not good at school or they don't get the grades that the teacher thinks they should.
Yeah, I think that's our problem with society. That's yeah, I've got a big problem with that. I think as a society we're doing something wrong because of the mental health crisis that we're experiencing. Kids are hurting themselves and killing themselves, and that's the society. That's us that's doing that. It's not them. They don't just wake up one morning and want that to happen. It's the pressure they're getting put in school. It's like, you have to do this. You're getting rewarded when you're getting a good grade. That's not okay to put a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever, under that much pressure. You know, I remember when I was growing up, you're further behind this person, and as a child you're getting told that, and it's so negative. It's so negative for a young child to take that, go home and say, "Man, why am I not as smart as this person?" That's horrible to put. So the whole education system, I think, needs a reshake and a reshuffle. And if a kid has a passion, to bake, to play music, to sing, to run, to whatever it is, they have that passion, just push them to the limit and say, if that's your passion, just carry on, because learning Pythagoras, trigonometry, reading English books, grammatically correct English, that doesn't matter. That doesn't make a difference in life. I remember getting taught trigonometry bloody Pythagoras off Mice and Men, you've got to read this, tell me your thoughts on this. That doesn't matter. That's not made me the person I am today. My family's made me the person I am today. The hard work I put into the gym, the self-belief I have in my business and Tom and my wife and the family, that's what matters. Not, I get passionate about it because I get pissed off because we get so blindsided by school and stuff, and yeah, it does work. We do need doctors, we do need scientists, we do need those educated people because they bring so much to the world. But we can pick that from an early stage. You can pick that from kids at an early stage, right? They're going to be more educated, they're going to be more inclined to do that. The other kids, let them explore, let them be happy, man. Being happy is it seems like it's a privilege nowadays for children to be happy. It's like, oh, you're privileged because you're happy. That shouldn't be the case. Every child should be happy. And it gets to me. It really gets to me. It really frustrates me.
As a parent, I know where you're coming from, but it's letting the kids know that maybe aren't the academic side or that won't make it to university. It's all right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all right. And the more you guys speak about it and put your messages out there and keep telling your story, it will be so important to so many kids and hopefully the parents.
Yeah,
because a lot of it is parents hoping their kids do well against other parents' kids, and it's that chat round the staff room at work or this, that, and other. My kid got this, well, Jimmy's not doing so well. Yeah. That can be a lot of pressure come from parents, and
definitely.
I personally would try to sit back and let the kids. They're going to get in trouble. They're going to get good grades. They're going to get bad grades. Let's see how we can go out there. But the great outdoors and life experiences is going to take them to a lot of good places.
Definitely. I think that's one thing we don't have in schools is teaching them about the holistic stuff, being grounded with earth, being in the sea, being in the cold, walking in the sand, smelling the trees. That is so positive to people. That can change your life. So if you're depressed, there's that much science now that proves that helps. Sitting in a classroom learning about whatever, that's not going to make them happy. Like, guys, freshly cut grass, look at the daisies, look at the wildflowers, these things are growing. Go to the beach, go for a swim. That's what I love about you. You take the kids swimming, and it's so heartwarming to see because you see how happy they are. And for me, I've only just been open to this last 2 or 3 years of more holistic stuff, walking on the beach, whenever I walk through a forest now with Kush, I'm like smelling trees and stuff, smelling leaves, the pine needles. It's unbelievable how happy that makes me. And I'm thinking, well, if that makes me happy, surely there's other people that would benefit from. Like, I didn't know about that when I was younger. Yeah. I knew I liked being outside and stuff, but yeah, it's this competitiveness that maybe parents have, or it must be tough, because that's what we're taught. We're taught that by the government. We've got that's what they're putting. They're putting out these not agendas, but kids have to live up to this certain level. If not, then they're in a different class. It's the hierarchy in school. It's like you're either in your top class or then you're in the special class. And that's horrible, man. It's not nice. Kids should just be, kids are that special that they should be treated that way and just learn to be happy. And I think, geez, man, I mean, if we
I hear you. There's a lot to be said for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for it.
I get stressed out, mate.
But you guys, and where you've got to today, the Stoltman, let's talk about the Stoltman business, the Stoltman brand. I mean, it's opportunities now opening up that rather than before, even coming second to first, things must be changing. New offices. Can we touch on the Stoltman games?
Yeah.
It's exciting times ahead for you.
It's it's blowing up. I'm not going to lie. It's opened so many doors for myself and Luke. It's it's mad. It's a lot to take in as well. We've got obviously new offices that we're wanting to then put like a recovery centre in. Studio for classes, podcasts, etc., etc. So that's our biggest probably goal there is to get that done and get that up and running, so we can get a lot of like athletes in the Highlands. Attract. If we can get like a lot of kind of athletes up here, it'll be so good for Invergordon, so good for the Highlands. It'll get a lot of people talking as well. And then obviously the gym, we want to open more than just one Stoltman Strength Centre. We want to kind of franchise out all over the place as well, and just get that up and running, along with obviously being successful in strongman. But yeah, the business side now, I didn't really think of it as much. I was all strongman. This is the guy that was the brains and stuff, but he still has the brains. But now I realise, you need something to back up other than strongman. I could next week do a life-threatening injury that could end my career, and then I need something that's the plan B, and this is the plan B now. We think that's, I think we're in the same category as Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw with this kind of stuff. We are going more than just strongman. With the merchandise is flying right now. Our gym runs itself now as well. So we're just we've got a business, but it's not stressful. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying the YouTube, the business side of things. We're just having fun trying to create stuff with Stoltman on it. It's
the legacy.
The legacy.
Yeah.
That's it. It's such a good kind of buzz to be part of. When Strongman's a great buzz, but this is cool. If we can create something, a legacy, and create something massive and get our name all over the world forever, it'll be so cool, so cool.
I want to dive in there. You mentioned podcast. Are we going to see a Stoltman podcast coming? Because I think it'll take off like wildfire.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Our personalities come across good. We can chat. We can make people laugh. We can make people bored. So it's cool. We can make people angry.
But you can also dive a little bit into those times that you didn't record, and you can talk honestly. And dark times that we haven't seen yet.
Definitely.
That journey that I, as a fan of what's your YouTube page with the kids.
Things, even like the autism side of things. There's a lot of things are not talked about that. There's things that Luke's not talked about. So it's you can go deep. There's deep things we can talk about. But and even the Stoltman games as well. Obviously that was just meant to happen soon, but the COVID thing mucked it up. But yeah, it's going to happen. There's no point kind of putting a date on it yet, but we're going to make it happen, and it's going to be the biggest thing the Highlands has ever seen, 100%. We're going to have all the best athletes up here. We're going to have all different people. We're going to just take it over, and when we make one, it's going to be like the body power of Scotland. It's going to be
the best strength show in Scotland, 100%. That's what we're wanting to make. It's like a spectacle of strength, and that touches back to what we're saying about like the children and stuff, the kids coming up. So for me personally, I would love to build like a centre of excellence in the Highlands, so it gives the youth a chance to kind of really flourish. So if it's strength, bodybuilding, gym, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, anything, it's like full encompassed all the strength. So that's what I'm getting really excited about. And I think that's what we need to do, is because there isn't an awful lot of stuff up in the Highlands. We say that a lot, but there's no one actually taking the bull by its horns and saying, right, well, I'm going to make it a difference. I'm going to change that. There is stuff in the Highlands, and it's because of us that there is something in the Highlands. So I think that's what we really need to do, and give other people opportunities to have that self-belief in themselves, and then fulfill their potential. Because again, I've learned that without self-belief, you can't ever fulfill your potential. And I think as Tom and I realise how much self-belief we have in ourselves, we want to pass that on to the youth, the young team, the kind of want to be strong men or crossfitters or sprinters or whatever it is. That would be so cool. That's our legacy that we could create. It's passing on that to some 12-year-old boy that's throwing a discus, and then make him into that Olympic athlete. That would be that'd be pretty cool. Having him, trained by the Stoltmans or the Stoltman merchandise when he's at the Olympics, man, that would be epic. That's what I get really excited about, and just see what happens. I mean, the world's really.
We need to start learning discus then, huh?
But there's no. Yeah. Is there anything out there? What you're talking about? I mean, I sitting here believing in you boys and watching what you do. It's so achievable. You put your mind to something, you'll get there. Is there things that you've thought about before that will never, like something in the States or around the world, we'd love to do that, and now you're actually, we're in touching distance? Is there people you'd like to meet, opportunities you'd like to have?
Yeah, I mean, we were just chatting about having a wee place in America, maybe getting an office or something out in the States so we could, commute back and forth there a bit easier. And I don't know, man, it's just...
I don't care about celebrities. I just want to meet people that are chilled out and got the same personality as us, and you can thrive off. You can get some bigger name people that just don't want anything to do with you. Are like kind of blunt and stuff. You don't want that. I just want meet people on this journey that are fun, easy to go in with, and like lifting weights, you know, and like eating food. And thankfully, I've had a lot of kind of opportunities like that, you know, and I just want to keep continuing it. I don't want to say anybody's names, who I'm going to meet next, but it's just want to go with the flow, really. You know, if I pull up somewhere and there's a guy there and he's same personality and stuff as me, I'll be his mate, you know. So it's cool. So
it's a great way to be. I want to see you guys on the Joe Rogan podcast. I'd love to see you over there. He likes the strongmen. He's had on a few guys.
Yeah, I think that might be something that we could look at doing maybe one time. That'd be cool. Just to, he's a passionate guy as well. So it's like kicking it with or chilling with passionate people that are excited about kind of things. You know, that's what gets me going. You know, having that passion about something is really important, I think, and that's. I think what Tom and I have, it's, you know, a passion for strength, passion for strongman, but it's also making a difference now. It's thankfully, you know, Tom's catapulted our profile to no end, so it's been able to do good now. And I think sitting back and not doing anything would be an injustice to us and the family. So we need to be doing something and being proactive, and just see what we can do. See where the world leads us.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to watch the journey.
And just see what happens.
It's awesome, guys. But I truly mean it. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Look to your home, to showing us and my family around the strength centre.
Of course, man. Of course.
It's been awesome.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.